Hi guys, Scouter Davy here with my good buddy here, Shorty, coming out to play in the woods with me today. We're gonna go out and do a little bit of bushcraft stuff and maybe show you a few tricks and have a fire and some food, right?
Yeah.
You brought food?
Yeah.
What you bring?
I brought hot dogs.
Not the hot dogs. All right, let's go. All right, looks like we found a spot that we're going to use for today's exercise. The plan today is to get a bit of fire going, build us a wall to protect from the wind. We've chosen this spot because it has a bit of a hill behind us, so there's no wind going to come. And we'll try and build a couple different walls and see what we do and have some lunch. Ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, let's get going. Alright, we've got our campsite cleared of brush. Lucas is just going to get some firewood bucked up and ready to burn. I'm prepping the fire pit. I'm going to try and get rid of, it's kind of weird, there's no snow in January here. We're trying to get rid of all of the moss, and underneath the moss is usually a good layer of needles and sticks and stuff. So we're going to get rid of that. So you'll see after we remove the moss and the duff underneath that, we had to chop away a few of the roots from old trees and current trees to make sure they don't burn away, and we want to cut those back a bit. But you'll see that we get right down just to regular dirt, and that's what we want to dig down to. So now it's all ready for Lucas to bring his firewood over and get his fire going. That should be a treat. He'll probably do it without any matches. All right, we got a nice warm fire going. The next thing we're going to do is demonstrate some windbreaks. It's not windy at all today. Like I said earlier, we've got a natural windbreak behind us, the hill, which is great if you can find something like that. The other side is all trees. You can probably hear the dog barking from my farm across the river there, so if you can hear her and she's driving you crazy like me, I apologize. So we're going to do two windbreaks right away. We're going to do a small one right here with some stuff from our survival kits, and then we're going to do a bigger, more elaborate one here made out of wood. And we'll show you what we can do. Ready for it?
Yep.
All right, let's get our kits. All right, the first wall we're going to make is out of a survival blanket. We're going to do it up in this short section here, and you'll have to worry about the corners because they don't have grommets to tie things to. So we'll make little notches out of wood, little chunks of wood or rocks. We're not really in a rocky area right now, but and then tie a little notch around that. We'll show you that in detail. So here we go. The Mylar blanket that I had pulled out from an old kit, not the kit that I normally carry. Apparently they've got expiries on them. They don't last for very long. So as you can see, it's gone see-through. It should be reflective, and it's very, very brittle. So we're not going to use this. It's not going to make a windbreak. But luckily, Lucas brought a tarp, and we'll do the same thing out of a tarp. You can see we first thing that we've done is got a nice tight rope across the two trees. Trying to show there. I put a little slip knot in there so it can just come off real easy. It's not going to be staying on for very long, but it is nice and tight, so the weight of the tarp isn't going to weigh it down and make it all sag and stuff. So we'll put the tarp over top of it, and then we're going to anchor the bottom of the tarp. Just like that, quick and easy windbreak. The wind's not going to come through there. To make sure that the wind doesn't blow the bottom out, we've put some weight on the back, and then we've also made some wooden spikes and spiked through the grommets into the ground so it doesn't blow through, it doesn't blow past. In a really, really strong wind situation, we might end up trying to tie the edges of this out, because it might try to push in, but this will do good and keep most of your wind out. The next challenge is to build a wall without using a tarp or anything like that. We're going to build it right across here. So we're going to do it out of wood because there's a lot of wood around here and logs. So we'll show you how to get that built, and it doesn't take very long. You ready to do some sawing?
Not really, but okay.
All right. So ready to start our build. What we're going to do first is we've got a fairly large log. We're going to put it across the bottom. Then we're going to take a couple of posts that we've got. We're going to drive them into the ground on either side, and we're going to tie them to the top fairly loosely, and we'll fit the rest in as a wall so they'll stay up. And then at the end of it, we're going to tighten it all up and it'll stay. So we should have a wall about this tall when we're done. So Lucas, grab that big one. Let's put that into place. Lucas is my muscle. All right. So that's going to go right there. There we go. All right. Let's get to this. Well, this is super awkward. This was supposed to be the best part of the whole video.
where Shorty and I talk about building the wall and how it didn't quite go as planned. But we managed to save it. We talked about adding boughs or a reflector blanket to make it better, and most importantly, how we were both really ready for lunch. But someone set up the camera wrong. I was going to do something with a billy can and make some water for coffee or tea for us, but realized I left the billy can at home. But I did bring my Kelly Kettle, which is it's really cool. It's basically a rocket stove, or not even basically. It's a rocket stove. So I can boil water really quick in this. Make a fire down in the bowl there, and then there's two little holes in the bottom of the bowl that the air will go through, and then the fire comes out the top and it rolls around in there and boils water real quick. So I'm going to do that right now because I'm ready for some something to drink. All right, once you get the fire burning on the inside, and it's just starting to go now, you start feeding it from the top. All the dry stuff in from the top. And hopefully the fire goes. Let's move these so I don't lose them. And I'm going to take this plug out. And add your water. Oh, a little too much water. There we go. So you can see the fire is down the tube and starts burning up. So start feeding. It's really hot. I do have an attachment that goes on the top of it that you can do some cooking right on top. It works very well. And ultimately it doesn't take very much. You can already start to hear the water starting to burn or boil.
You can see how hot it is down here. They're glowing red.
Yeah, and that's the intake. One of the downfalls with this one is that pot on the bottom gets really hot, and it will scorch the ground there. So it's still kind of like having a fire. A little easier to put the ground out afterwards, but you do have to watch the front there. You saw just a bit of a flare up.
How much does a pot like this cost?
This it was quite expensive. I think it was like over $100, and I picked it up in Moab, Utah when I was down there. I'd been looking for one for a while. I think they might be a little easier to find nowadays. It works really good to a point. I find the negative side of it is that it is large and clunky, so it doesn't really fit
in a backpack very well. And it takes up a lot of space for a stove that basically there's smaller stoves out there. So I find that sometimes it rides around in my Jeep as an emergency way to make hot water, but more times than not, I don't take it. It's cool, but I just don't take it out. So, can hear the water. It's going to start boiling any second now. Can you see the water?
Yeah, you can see it starting to boil.
Okay. There we go. It's going to boil over.
That was quick.
So just like that, we've got boiling water. We're going to make some tea here, some coffee here. And just like this, nice little chain. Oh yeah, hot. There we go. All right, that's it for us. Hope you've enjoyed our little video. I'm gonna work our way back to my cabin and talk about some other videos that we might do for you guys. We've had a lot of fun, and smell a little light campfire. That's always a good smell. And we'll come back and build some more in this campsite another time.
Sounds good.
All right, see you guys later.
Till next time.
Blah, 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 blah.